We're live now. And hey guys, we're going to get started in 1 second. We're going to play the intro. We got Jim Girouard with us too. And we're going to hit the subscribe button for all you guys that haven't subscribed yet. Subscribe and support the channel, guys. You know, now is more important than ever to support the channel. And okay, with all that said, welcome, guys, to another episode of the Typical Skeptic Podcast. My name's Rob Khalil. I'm so happy to have you guys here today. For all you guys joining us live and anybody listening on what Podbean, I guess that's where we're at now on audio because we got demonetized. And everybody watching on YouTube and Rumble. And just for you guys to know, my only forms of monetization now are Rumble and any donations I get. So, you know, they've found a way to Alex Jones me into, submission here, or at least that's what they're trying to do, it seems like. But, you know, the fight must go on. So here we go. Today I have one of my favorite guests with me. I have with me Jim Girouard, and we're going to be talking about his new painting today, which is called Avatar Code 12, Blue Star 5 and Between the Shadows. Tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern on the Typical Skeptic Podcast, YouTube, Rumble, and Facebook. And I said, visionary artist and mystic Jim Girouard returns with his most powerful esoteric download yet, Avatar Code 12, Blue Star 5, a visual transmission packed with spiritual codes, galactic prophecy, ancient symbolism, and multidimensional warnings. What will Decode live? The Orion Nebula Council of 12, the 12-pointed star, pyramid, and eye. The Blue Star 5 prophecy, Hopi origins, Sagittarius and Apotheosis, Quetzalcoatl and Thoth, the Garuda and Vishnu, rise of the Shamanic Feminine, UFOs in the portal, and they live between the shadows and the 2025 X exit point. And a little bit more about my guest. Jim Girouard is a painter, a musician, a mystic, and creator of Avatar Code 12. He has developed his own divination system using lettered dice, delivers high-level esoteric art, and shares channeled knowledge from ancient beings, including councils with the Orion Nebula. You can contact Jim. His email is rebelartist7@gmail.com. He has a YouTube, which is Jim Girouard 8720. He's on Facebook under Jim Girouard, and he's on Rumble at Rebel Artist. And I'd like to give him a big warm welcome back to the show. Jim, thanks so much for coming back on, man. How are you?
Oh, good. Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, I feel like it's been a long time. So tell us what's new and tell us about this painting. As I'm trying to pull it up now, I should have had it pulled up before we started, but I'm trying to pull it up now. Tell us a little bit about this painting, what inspired it, and we can go into each thing that you have in it.
Okay, this painting here is a continuation of the Tree of Knowledge, which is directly behind me over here that I did for Sonia Testament. And the story in that painting is the original story. And then the painting that I just finished is a continuation of this idea of Quetzalcoatl reincarnating as a female.
Wow. That's interesting. What made you, what do you think inspired that? Like, what do you think brought that on?
Okay, in the first painting, the Tree of Knowledge, you see a Vimana, which is a spaceship from India from thousands of years ago. And this Vimana is hovering above a pyramid, okay? And the Quetzalcoatl story is that Quetzalcoatl reincarnates as a female whose DNA activates the Vimana. And then there's a beam that gets sent up and goes through the dome, and it hits the pole star, and it hits Venus. And then what this does, this vibration, transforms the false 3D matrix into an organic matrix.
Wow. And do you think that's what we were originally? I'm just going to show the painting now while we're talking about it here. I can let me see here. Let me here present, share screen, and I'm going to share screen again. And give me 1 second here. And I'll hit entire screen, allow. We should be sharing screen now, and we should be showing it. It should be showing the painting now. This is amazing, Jim. I love this. This is really amazing. But do you think that's what we were originally? We were in like an original matrix, and we got taken over by a false matrix.
Yeah, the original matrix was organic.
Yeah, and then somewhere it got distorted along the way, right? False gods, maybe.
It got destroyed and then it got recreated as a duplicate. So right now we're in a copy or a duplicate of the real reality.
Is that why we're seeing so many strange things in our reality?
Yeah, because the matrix is collapsing.
Wow, that's amazing. When do you think this false matrix came into being? Like, when do you think it like came or became? When do you think the false matrix took over the organic Earth?
I think I saw along those lines on the Starfire Tour video, but offhand I can't remember how many thousands of years ago it was.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the painting now. What does Avatar Code 12 stand for? I mean, what's that mean?
Okay, down on the bottom you see this guy with a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Well, he's shooting an arrow at a bronze statue.
Okay.
Now the reason I did that was because the original idea to name the painting was Apotheosis, which means, like on a quarter, it says "In God We Trust," and it's got a portrait of George Washington. And what that really means is that George Washington is God.
I'm not trying to be funny, but it looks like he's shooting an arrow at a Mothman on a toilet. I'm kidding, but that's kind of what it looks like if you look at the guy shooting an arrow. Okay, so it's a bird-like creature on a rock, is what it really is. That's what it, because he has a wing, right? He has a wing behind him. That's what made me think he was kind of like a Mothman type figure, you know?
Who are you talking about? The archer?
No, the archer, the archer shooting at, like, on the left-hand side, the thing that balances out the right-hand side. So there's the right-hand side, there's the archer, then there's the left-hand side. It looks like a bird sitting on a rock. But I joked around and said it looked like a Mothman on a toilet, you know, because it kind of does.
The bird on the branch.
Yeah. Oh, that's a branch? But there, it seems like there's a rock there, you know? It seems like he's sitting on a rock.
Getting back to the bronze statue, the reason I had the archer pointing an arrow at the bronze statue, which is, George Washington, is because I didn't want people of a religious persuasion to be insulted by this idea of apotheosis.
Oh, okay. I get it. Yeah.
So I thought Avatar was a better title.
I think that's amazing. I think it's amazing. I love it. And like, I love the way you balance out the painting. You always balance out with left and right. It seems like, like at the bottom, we talked about, you have the archer, and then you have the bird on the left-hand side. Then in the middle, you have the statue of the George Washington and the bird on a branch. Then you have the guy playing the didgeridoo or something like that, and then you put it with your own style. You have the alphabet letters, so anybody that knows you knows that you do the dice code divination, and a big thing of what you do is the alphabet letters. So it's cool that you have the alphabet letters. And then I would guess to the left there, that's Quetzalcoatl, but right by you in the guitar. And then up at the top, you got Kali, and on the right hand, you got a Garuda, and then you have some UFOs at the top, and then you have the 3 sign at the top. I can't remember what that is, but is that everything? Did I call it out pretty much out, or like what? Did you?
No, that's not Kali on. That's not Kali on the left.
Who is that?
It's an American Indian girl holding a flaming sword, and next to her is Vishnu.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't see the Native American. I was talking about Vishnu. I thought Vishnu was Kali for some reason, but I didn't even see the Native American girl. And I didn't even I didn't even notice the pyramids in the background. That's amazing, Jim. Like you have so much detail in your paintings that sometimes you can gloss over it and things go unnoticed. You know what I mean? Like yeah, underneath the Native American girl, you have like the Chichen Itza pyramid, and then to balance that out on the right side, you have some like really cool mountains. I love this. And then birds. You always symbolize things with birds. Why is that?
Um, well, I have a huge connection with birds because I I used to feed them every day, and the Garuda connection is Garuda is the Godhead deity that rules over the bird kingdom.
That's cool. Yeah. So let's talk about some of the stuff we can decode now. What is the Orion Nebula Council of 12?
Okay, in 2012, there was a medium that went into a trance state, and she sort of guided me up into the outskirts of the Orion Nebula, and then we went inside, and there was a council of 12, and they told me that they had created a grid on the surface of planet Earth for me to do my mission.
Wow, that's interesting. And that was from your mission from 2000. That was a vision that you saw in 2012.
No, it wasn't a vision. It was a mediumistic trance state that she went into and guided me up into the visual parts of it.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah. And what did you see in this? Like, did you feel like you were going to be involved with this Council of 12 or something?
No, the extent of it is what I just described. I didn't really see anything. I was listening and more or less, visualizing it in my mind.
That's cool. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. And then you wanted to talk about the 12-pointed star, the pyramid, and eye, human observer within the hologram.
Yeah, the 12-pointed star symbolizes the Council of Orion, but it also signifies the 12 strands of DNA, uh, 12 signs of the zodiac, 12 months in a year, 12 apostles, and so on. There's a whole list.
Yeah, there's a lot of 12s. Yeah. And the pyramid and eye.
Okay, the pyramid, which is a triangle, is the original image of the material world. It's the image that represents the material world, which is a triangle. Okay, and inside the triangle is a human eye, which is the observer observing the observer in the material world.
That's amazing. And then let me see here. I'm seeing if I can log in with my phone so I can watch the chat go. So see if we have any questions along the way. Just give me 1 second here. And yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, let's see here. And then you wanted to talk about the painting also signifies the Blue Star 5 prophecy, which is the Hopi origins and the 5 elements of manifestation.
Yeah, the five signifies the four elements: earth, water, fire, and air, and then the fifth one is spirit. And then the blue star signifies the Hopi blue star Kachina prophecy, which is basically what we're into right now.
Yeah, do you think there are signs that were in the Blue Star Hopi prophecy?
Well, if there was any more signs, it would be hitting you in the face.
Yeah. Well, talk about it because people might not understand. People might not get it.
Well, we're in the destruction part of the prophecy, which is where the system is just basically breaking down because it's a bridge that's collapsed under its own weight.
Yeah. I didn't even realize my notes were up. I'm glad I pulled the YouTube chat up. I had my notes up the whole time. So now people can see the painting. So now you guys can take in the painting and look at it. I wonder if I can zoom in at all. Let me see if I can zoom in at all. And okay, that's a little bit too big. Let me zoom out a little bit. Let me zoom one more time. Oh, you guys get it. Okay, it's right there. That's you guys can check it out. And let me just put my notes here to see what we were talking about. And then what about Sagittarius versus Apotheosis, the takedown of false gods and debt slavery?
Well, Sagittarius is the archer that's throwing an arrow at the bronze statue.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, that's cool. And that signifies apotheosis.
Yeah, that's why I didn't use that title because, you know, people of a religious persuasion would be offended by something like that.
Yeah, yeah. That's let me see here. Okay. Let me see here. Let's see. What else you wanted to cover? Quetzalcoatl and Thoth, the 30,000-year return of the female Vimana activation.
Okay, you recognize Quetzalcoatl over on the left there?
Yeah.
Okay, he's directly below a pyramid. And this is where you get a continuation of the significance of this painting with the one right before it, which is the Tree of Knowledge, which I did previously. And this painting here signifies Quetzalcoatl reincarnating as a female.
Wow. It's interesting. Like what? And do you think that's to signify the return of the divine feminine?
Yeah, that's part of it. And then the Indian girl with the flaming sword also signifies the return of the matriarchy.
Okay, versus like what we're in now, which is a patriarchy.
Right.
Yeah, like know, of false gods that are created a false matrix that we're consumed in, which is the material world, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I thought. Yeah.
the Aborigine playing the didgeridoo. I spent 9 months in Australia.
Wow. What was that like?
I mean, it was interesting in a lot of ways because it was such a different kind of country. I mean, it's almost like prehistoric.
Yeah.
I saw a black 6 foot long Komodo dragon,
Wow.
and then I saw a 3 foot lizard jump off the roof when I opened the door. It startled the lizard, and it was up on the roof, and it jumped off and scurried off into the jungle.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, I was in a tropical jungle.
Wow. Where were you? Well, that's amazing. What were you doing in Australia? Just vacation?
No, I went out there to meet somebody, and then I wound up uh, getting involved in a restaurant that had just opened. Um, I kind of helped them out a little bit. They never paid me because I was getting my checks from the United States. But yeah, I was there for 9 months.
Wow. Wow. Um, that's horrible that they never paid you. That's not cool. And then you also have the Garuda and Vishnu in here, Hindu archetypes battling demons in multiple realms, right?
Okay, when you see Vishnu on the left and Garuda on the right, and the reason I have them both in there is because uh, Vishnu rides on the back of Garuda, and Garuda flies him around everywhere.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. It's amazing that you put them both there. And then you have yourself in the center with the guitar. Let me see here. What are those? Is the rise of the shamanic feminine and the return of the matriarchal balance? We kind of talked about that, but did you want to touch on it a little bit?
Okay, yeah. In 2012, I got a reading that said that I was being initiated into a circle of wizards.
Wow. It's amazing.
Okay, it was then that I realized that, like, for example, you've made mistakes in the past and you learn from your mistakes, okay? And you don't do those things
Yeah.
anymore. You don't do those things because you learn from your mistake, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens is you gain knowledge and then you stop doing those certain things. So now you have knowledge and you have wisdom and your behavior changes, okay? Okay, so the thing you're not aware of is that initiation takes place when you learn that lesson. But that initiation happens in the astral plane.
Yeah.
So you've probably had, hundreds of initiations that you don't know anything about because you can't see into the astral.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, so what
And is
happened
this
was,
sorry, go ahead.
uh, before I got this reading, I had no idea that these initiations were happening on a regular basis. Okay, so in some initiations, like the final ones, like the last initiation, is when you become a shamanic warrior.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Um,
up until that point, you're just getting initiations like in the minor mysteries, and most of those have to do with like right and wrong. But once you get up into like the major mysteries, then it's much more complicated and much more difficult to understand. But the potency of it is much higher. So when you
that's
become a
amazing.
shamanic warrior initiation, that's up in the major mysteries.
Yeah. And yeah, this is amazing. And then what do UFOs and the portal symbolize?
I just like to throw that stuff in there because I've been sort of studying UFOs and Bigfoot and stuff like that for a long time. I mean,
What do
I
you
mean
what do you
this
yeah,
painting is
guys.
this painting is a bio. Okay, the painting and the write up is my bio.
Wow. It's everything that you've done in your life.
Well, some of the things, like the important things. But what I'm saying
Yeah.
is, I wanted to create something like a bio that was visual.
Yeah. That's amazing. So this is all things that yeah, I agree. That's awesome. Yeah. Um and then let me see here. What about the they live between the shadows? The dice code divination meets 80s cult sci-fi.
Okay, there was a reading that was done by a girl in Colorado. She had the dice and she was sending me the letters, and I was decoding the letters. And it said, you know, they they live in between the shadows, is what it said. So I thought that would be a really good thing to throw in there in the form of letters. And then the first two, they live is the title of a very popular movie that came out in the '80s starring Roddy Piper.
I remember that where he puts on the glasses and he starts seeing the reptilians and or with the aliens or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was
And that
over like a
yeah.
combination of the name of a movie and really interesting line from a dice reading.
Well, this is amazing. And then the 2025 exit point, leaving the false matrix and linear time once and for all.
Yeah, this is the year for leaving the matrix, or at least the collapse.
Yeah. Do you believe we'll accomplish that this year?
Say it again.
Do you believe we'll accomplish that this year?
No, it's not an accomplishment.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenon.
Yeah. Wow. So, what do you mean? Talk about it a little bit.
Well, a lot of people think that there's things that they can do to sort of like, change, the direction that things are going in the world, but they can't. It's not possible. The moment, the phenomena, the energetic aspect of this phenomena is just so huge that it can't be stopped. Everything is collapsing.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Plan?
I agree 100%.
I mean, what's the strategy?
I guess the strategy would be to leave the matrix and not come back, right?
If you know how to do that, yeah.
And is there anything else you wanted to cover about the painting?
I want to talk about a phenomena that's been going on for about a month to 6 weeks. Okay, I get contacted by people from around the world that just I guess basically call me to tell me about these dilemmas that are going on in their life. Okay, the thing I started to notice was that almost directly after they called me and told me about their problems, shortly afterwards the problems went away. Okay, but I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing any readings. I wasn't doing anything. Okay. Okay. So if it happens once, you just think, well, okay, it happened one time. But when it happens 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 times in a row, and the same thing happens each and every time, you sort of get the impression that something's going on here. It has something to do with me. It's not anything that I'm doing.
Yeah. What do you think you're doing that's causing this?
It's not something I'm doing. I think it's just maybe a shift in perception or understanding, or maybe it was some sort of a further initiation into the major mysteries.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I wish you could solve my problem. I don't know.
what it feels like to me is that when they call me and tell me about their problems, the fact that they're telling it to me, that I'm hearing it, seems to dissolve it somehow. But I don't know how it works. I don't even know why it's happening. I'll tell you a dream, though. I think it's sort of connected
Let
to
me
this.
tell you, I screwed me over big time.
Okay, in this dream, I was on a mountain in the Himalayas. Okay, and I looked down.
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe I'll start over. Okay, in the dream, I was in the Himalayas on the side of a mountain, and I looked down. There was a white cloth on the ground, and I picked up the cloth, and it had six tiny eggs in it. Okay, but the eggs were clear and translucent, and they were filled with water. Okay, I took all these tiny eggs and I put them in my mouth and I swallowed them. Okay, so I think what happened was I was getting getting an initiation, and the six eggs, signified something in the white cloth and the Himalayas and it all signifies sort of initiation into a major mystery. Okay,
What do you think the major mystery is?
that's the thing. I don't know what it is. I don't have any conscious understanding of what it all means or anything, including the phenomena itself. All I know it's happening because I'm seeing it like from a distance, as an observer. It's
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, I stopped sharing now. Yeah. That's interesting. I wonder what that means, Jim. I don't know.
I wish I knew what it meant because I've been trying to figure it out myself.
Yeah.
Like if I could put it in a bottle and stick it on a shelf, I could sell it.
That's funny. Oh man. Well, yeah, this is amazing. Like, how's everything? Is there anything else you wanted to share today before we finish up today?
Well, I'm in the beginning stages of a new painting, so you know, maybe I'll get in touch with you at the end of the year.
Yeah, for sure. I always like doing these updates. I really do. I enjoy having you on the show. You know.
Yeah, I just want to do paintings from now on.
Yeah. You don't want to do dice readings anymore?
Yeah, I'm doing some dice readings here and there, you know, but what I mean is like, as far as interviews go, I'd rather just do a painting and show it and then talk about that and some other things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
All of this, all of this sort of stuff that's going on in the world and all this opinionated stuff. I'm not so interested in opinionated stuff. I mean, I have an opinion, but you know, who cares?
That's a good. I mean, I guess that's a good way of looking at things. Yeah. Um, yeah. I agree. Well, yeah. But, Jim, do you want to tell everybody where they can find you? And thanks for doing this. Was awesome. You know. Yeah. And are you gonna turn the painting into like any pictures or anything that people can buy or anything like that?
I'm trying to get some colored prints done. It depends how good they come out.
Yeah.
Uh, they can find me at Facebook if you could post a link there.
Yeah, I definitely will. Just Jim Girouard on Facebook and Rebel Artist, and I put your email in the description too. So if people want to get a hold of you, they can email you.
Did we do this one live?
Yeah, this is live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe there would be some questions or something, but I haven't seen it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. We'll see. Yeah, let's do that. We have time. I have time. Does anybody have any questions for Jim? I just want to. I want to say. Let me see. This is This is from Breathe, Brooke, Breathe, Collective Enlightenment. She says, I went to jail for expired insurance. I was MK Ultra a full tilt. I could use help from the community. I love your paintings, man. I feel you. Less words.
Yeah, she could write to me, send me an email along with, two photos, one of each palm, and date of birth, and I could start on doing a palm reading and then a dice reading. But
Yeah.
I usually ask them at some point if they'll talk to me on video chat or on the phone, so it becomes more direct and more personal.
Yeah. And that way you can read them better, right?
Yeah, I get a lot of reference points from a palm reading.
Wow.
I don't remember the one I did for you, but I distinctly remember that reading said that what you're doing now with these podcasts is the direction you need to go in.
Really? You think?
Oh yeah, I remember it very clearly.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, what you're doing is you're doing the right thing. Let's put it that way.
Wow. Andromedan says no questions, but great painting. I'll go back and I'll see if there was any other questions in the audience. But while we're okay. Nothing. This is a comment from Emily Howard. She says, I just listened to this awesome book called Mutant Message from Down Under about the Aboriginal people and what they were the original people and we are the mutants. And they're leaving the planet now. Any comment on that, Jim? I think it sounds interesting.
I don't know anything about it, but I'd like to look into it.
Yeah, well, it sounds interesting. Like the mutant message from Down Under about Aboriginal people and said they were the original people and we are the mutants and they're leaving the planet now. That would be amazing, Like, I mean, I don't want to be a mutant, but I mean, like, that's good for them if they.
You have to look into these things and get down to the source of where it comes from, to find out if it's the real deal.
Jason says, Jason has a comment here. Jason says, I wonder, he's talking about the palm readings. He says, I wonder if that's partly where can tell what a man by his handshake comes from.
I've never heard that connection, but maybe there is a connection.
Yeah. What are you reading when you read a palm? Are you mostly reading the lines? Like if I show you my lines here, can you get anything from those? Okay, can you see anything? I think I have an M or an X in my hand, like, somewhere, like, let me see if I can get it better without a glare. Yeah. I mean, you're basically reading the lines in the hand?
Well, it's not really clear enough for me to analyze your palm, on a chat, but basically what I look for is like to get a feeling. Like there's some people, like when I look at the lines in their hands, it's almost like I'm hearing the way that they speak to people, like their attitude and the way they walk and the way they talk and the way they do things. It's sort of like the lines sort of animate their character. Like yesterday I did a reading for a woman. I think she was in her late 70s, maybe early 80s. There was no lines on her hands.
Wow, that's strange. Everybody has lines on their hands, it seems like.
Yeah, she didn't have any.
Yeah, this is from the Andromedan. The Andromedan says R.I.P. Ozzy Osbourne. I guess Ozzy Osbourne died today.
Yeah, I heard that.
That's crazy. I remember him from when I was a kid. My cousin was older than me, and my cousin was into like metal music. And I remember my cousin kept showing me a VHS video of Ozzy Osbourne biting the head off of a bat. I guess he was like real crazy when he was, early. Like, do you remember that? Like, or he bit the head off a bird or something live on stage. Like, he was nuts.
They take that stuff and they magnify it and make you think about it. I mean, who wants to think about that?
Yeah, and then he became like a pop culture icon, like he got a reality TV show with his family and it became like a big joke. Like it was like the new version of the Munsters. It was the Osbournes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, look at how dysfunctional they were.
I know, right? They were like all on drugs and stuff and like, or I don't know, like all kinds of different medications, I think. And like, like it was a strange family, like it was, You know, did you listen to that back when you were young, Ozzy Osbourne?
When I first heard the band, I didn't like them that much, but years later, I really started getting into it.
Well, it was Black Sabbath at first, right? It was Black Sabbath, and then he went off on his own and did his own thing as Ozzy Osbourne, right?
Yeah. The lyrics and the music together was just really extraordinary.
I remember the one song that sticks out to me that I got to give him credit for is War Pigs. You know,
Yeah.
War Pigs is a great song because it means a lot as to what's going on today, because it translates. You know,
the elite running scared, you know, trying to hide because of their sins, and you know it's Judgment Day, and Satan is laughing, and it really a lot of visual stuff in there.
Yeah, I think he says generals gather at their masses just like witches at black masses or something like that. You know.
Yeah. And
yeah.
You know, the sinister sort of chord changes are really, you know, there's no other band that played like them.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember my dad liked a lot of classic rock. I remember my dad listened to like Cream and you know, what was the other one? He used to listen to one that was lesser known. It was Deep Purple. You know, I remember my dad like Cream and Deep Purple and like a lot of those 70s bands, you know. My dad was like a Vietnam era guy, so you know, it would be fitting for him to like that stuff, you know. I don't know.
I burnt my draft card.
What's that?
I burnt my draft card.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Holy shit! Did you get in trouble?
No, they had a lottery back then, and my number was like 495 or something. I never got called into the draft because of the number.
Wow. Good thing you didn't go. Look what happened to my dad. My dad got poisoned with Agent Orange, I think. You know, I mean, because he later got prostate cancer and died, and they thought it was like the Agent Orange that he had in Vietnam that triggered that. You know, so you know that shit was just basically like Roundup. It was just basically like a poison or something. It was crazy. You know,
The Vietnam War started around 1959, and I think it ended around 74 with Nixon.
Yeah, and JFK was about to pull out right before he died. JFK wanted it out completely.
Yeah, he wanted it to stop.
And you know what's interesting is he also did that stand down with Cuba, which was the Cuban Missile Crisis stand down, where you know there could have been a nuclear war if it wasn't for JFK. You know.
Yeah, he got some really bad advice from those military advisors.
Yeah. What do you think was the original? What do you think was the initial? What do you think was the thing that got JFK killed? People talk about the UFO phenomenon. People talk about the CIA. People talk about the mafia. People talk about all the above. People talk about him wanting to dismantle the central banking system. People talking about something to do with Marilyn Monroe. I mean, there's so many things that they say killed him. But like, if you had an idea, what do you think did it? Like, what was the, you know?
He threw a rock at a hornet's nest is what happened.
Yeah, right. That's a good point.
I mean, you know, if you count the number of hornets, that's the number of reasons.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. This comment's from Emily Howard. She says this was a follow-up to her comment about the Aborigines. She says it also kind of reminded me of Bigfoot too. I just watched the movie Supernatural Bigfoot Flash of Beauty. I saw that. That's good. It's about how Bigfoot's paranormal. She says both Bigfoot and the Aboriginals are telepathic. I would agree with that.
Yeah, they must have had some kind of connection with the Bigfoot out there.
Wow. Yeah. And then Jason says he should get a Blizzard from Dairy Queen, which made me really hungry because I'm on a diet. I lost 20 pounds so far, maybe 22 pounds. I lost 22 pounds. So I'm on a big time diet, you know, but I could go for a Blizzard too. It's summer, you know. And then Jason says about Ozzy, he says he mooned me on stage. And then Jason said his son's doing paranormal investigation. That's crazy. I should get him on the podcast. You know.
Yeah, his son, as far as I last knew, was studying to be a fireman.
Wow. That.
I mean, if you take any American family and put them on a reality show, they're all going to look dysfunctional.
I agree. Right. That's a good point. I think it's a really good point. You know.
Did we question mark?
She was saying, did we do a thumbs up? So remember to like the show, guys. And guys, remember, you know, I got demonetized on my audio podcast. I feel like they're really trying to Alex Jones me. You know, like be sure to go to Podbean and like either like an episode or follow me or download the show. It's all free to do. You know, it'll help get me monetized on there faster. And it helps because a lot of people like to listen to the audio at night to go to bed. They like to binge listen to shows, you know, and I don't know. I just feel like, you know, they never should have took my monetization away. They made up a lie. I think it's because they didn't want to pay me money. So I might get an attorney. It's a big thing, you know. And Jason shared the link. But yeah, it was crazy, Jim. I was on vacation. I was in Florida, and I woke up from a nap. I literally woke up from a nap, and I was like, and like basically like, you know, like my audio podcast was like 90% of my income. Like I never told anybody that, but I was at least getting between like $1,200 to $1,500 a month from my audio podcast, you know. And then these next couple months I would have really leveled up. Like I was starting to break through. I was going to start to see like $3,000 a month from it, right? You know, for at least maybe more the month after, you know. And then I woke up from a nap on vacation and I saw a thing. It said I was checking the statistics for my audio podcast and it had no income for 5 days in a row. And I was like, what the F? I was like, what is this? And then I looked at my monetization. It said blocked. And I was like, what did I do wrong now? I said, this is crazy. I was like, I absolutely did absolutely nothing wrong. You know, like
all you have to do to get blocked is talk about toothpaste.
That's true, right? That's what they did on YouTube. Yeah, yeah.
You talk about herbal toothpaste.
Yeah.
Man, you're done for.
Don't say it because they'll literally take it down. They will. By the way, I saw those people at the conference. They were there. You know, like the people that own that company. They're still a sponsor of mine. I just advertise on Rumble. You know, but I mean.
Yeah. So did you come back early from the conference?
No, I actually stayed longer. I was there for like 8 days. Like I went with Gina Virginia Casella. You know, she comes on my show and she does gemstone readings, and we wanted to have some extra time there. We're not dating or anything. I think she just needed a vacation, and I obviously needed a vacation really bad. So we were there 3 days early before the conference even started, which was really expensive. It cost me a lot of money, you know. But thankfully, you know, Brian was able to help me, and I was able to fundraise and stuff like that. But like, it was like really well. I really needed a vacation. I hadn't taken a vacation since last summer, and I feel lucky to even take a vacation at all. You know what I mean? Because like, you know, but I mean, you know, sometimes I do. Like today, I'm doing 4 shows today. You know, tomorrow I have 3 shows. The next day I have 2 shows. So that's what I'll do all year again until, you know, if I get to go again next year. You know, it's kind of just what I do. You know,
yeah.
I don't.
Brian invited me to the conference, but I didn't go because I have to spend time like every day for 5 or 6 months to complete one painting.
Wow, that's a lot, man. I bet that's a lot of. I mean, that's a lot of. I mean, you could have went and done like a short painting at the conference. You could have captured the essence of the conference, and you know, maybe next year. You know.
Forgot what I was going to say, but it had something to do with painting. Yeah, the paintings are not difficult. Not difficult at all. It's just time consuming.
Yeah.
But when you're done with it, then it's really rewarding.
It really is, because it's a beautiful painting. I'll show it again here, guys. Like, I hope you guys buy a print when Jim makes the prints. You know, let me show it again here. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can get it here. I'm hitting share. Hold on. Sometimes this thing takes long. I don't know why this is doing this. Oh, there it is. Share screen. Share screen. Entire screen. There it is. You guys can get a good idea of what it took to Jim to paint this thing. It's very detailed. Even if you look at the Garuda and the Vishnu, for example, they're so detailed, and the Quetzalcoatl is so detailed. Like there's like 5 different colors going on with the Quetzalcoatl. You have a navy blue, you have a regular blue, you have a green, you have a light green, you have a red, you have an orange, you have a black, you have white inside the black. I mean, that Quetzalcoatl is extremely detailed. Guys, can you imagine what it takes to paint something like this? Honestly, like you got to give credit for what Jim has done here. Like, look at the detail on the picture of him, which I have a picture of him wearing that outfit when we did a show. He got that outfit especially for a show that he did, like for another painting that he did. And like the colors in that, there's like 5 or 6 colors going on. In the Garuda, the color scheme's amazing as well. You have black and violet, and then the Garuda's blue with gold and black through them. It's just like really amazing, man. Like, how do you get the colors so detailed like that?
It's kind of difficult to explain how the painting is done. I mean, I've got some techniques and some methods that I sort of learned, along the way. It's kind of like the idea is you learn how to do it by doing it.
What if you mess up? I mean, like, have you ever messed up?
The whole painting is a mess up. I mean, you're looking at 30 or 40 different mistakes that were covered up and corrected.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah,
like
mistakes on everything, and then you let it dry and you paint over it, try to correct it.
Oh, that's beautiful though, man. That's really amazing.
I mean, you're looking at 6 layers of paint in some areas.
Wow, that's insane. That's amazing. That's really amazing. But I'm still trying to figure out what this guy is down here. Is this a Mothman type figure?
I can't see the pointer.
Underneath the Quetzalcoatl.
I can't see the pointer.
Underneath the Quetzalcoatl, directly underneath the Quetzalcoatl.
That's Bigfoot.
Oh, but it looks like he has a It looks like oh, that's his other arm. I guess that's his. Okay, I see now. It looked like he had a wing behind him, but that's his other arm.
That's the Bigfoot from the Patterson video that was made in the late 60s.
The Patterson Gimlin film. That's notoriously popular for the Bigfoot researchers. They still claim today that that's real footage.
Oh yeah, it was. It's been proven.
By the way, I wanted to tell you guys. So I got this supplement, guys. I think my light went out. Hold on, let me see if I can turn this on. I'm going to become an affiliate for this company here. This is called Masterpiece, guys, and this is some kind of volcanic ash mixed with marine plasma or something like that, and it detoxes your whole body from everything. I can't talk about it a lot on YouTube, but it's supposedly really good. I'm looking more into it, but my friend Kriya came into the conference and she was telling me about it, and then some guy gave me a bottle, and like supposedly it's supposed to be really good. Yeah, it's yeah. I'm gonna start maybe being an affiliate for them. But again, who knows what you can advertise on YouTube nowadays and stuff like that. So yeah.
Well,
are you still following Sonia Testerman?
Say it again.
Are you still following Sonia Testerman?
Yeah, and this painting that I just did that you showed is a continuation of the Tree of Knowledge painting. You know, if you look at the top there, above the pyramid, you can see the Vimana, which is a flying saucer.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So you know, my next painting after the one you just showed, it's going to be a continuation of the second one. So it's going to be like a trilogy of 3 paintings, and they're all connected to Sonia Testament.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, this has been fun, Jim. No more questions, I guess. Did you anything else you want to share with the audience before we go?
No, I think we covered just about everything here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. And I'll be live again at 8 p.m. Eastern, and I'll be live at 9 p.m. Eastern with Arkeem Roz coming on. So that'll be a good show. And I'll be live at 8 p.m. Eastern with a girl named Maggie Bellinger. She's going to do readings for you guys. So that'll be a good show. And that's tonight's lineup. And yeah, and Jim, do you want to tell people how to follow you one more time and all that stuff?
Yeah, if you could post my Facebook link down at the bottom, they can contact me there or the Gmail.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks everybody, and I'll see everybody later tonight. And have a good night, everybody.